Right.
For today, you want to kickstart?
Yes, I want to kickstart with Daily Graphic. Today is the 7th of February, 2024. Daily Graphic is truth and accuracy every day. And the big issue here is rent scheme benefits 1,492 tenants. And 19 million Ghana Citi disbursed to 6 regions. The Housing Minister, Francis Asenso Boache, is speaking on this. And government Chinese Forge Infrastructure Delivery Partnership. PAC orders MOFA to pay bird flu affected farmers. That story is on page 13. And university unions strike over unresolved grievances. They said they are not backing down until they hear from the ministry. So they are still on strike.
All right. Well, the most authoritative paper, the Ghanaian Times, says Upper East Regional Minister fumes over shoddy work, and the snail pace of execution of projects threatens to abrogate contracts. All right. And that story is on page 9 of the paper. And let me just give you a few headlines, and then I'll read that story briefly. The National Rental Assistance Scheme is here as well. The government disburses 90 million Ghana cedis to 1,492 beneficiaries. And I wonder how the beneficiaries were selected. Well, that story is there also on page 9. The trial of former Cecilia Dapa's house helps adjourned to March 8th. And the very, very tragic story here. 7 die, 4 injured in gory accident as a fuel tanker runs over a minibus on the Accra and Suwam Road. And we do have reports that the driver has been arrested. Investigations are ongoing.
The speed at which he should have been going.
The question is, you know, that road is the road we've been discussing that's under construction, right? The road is already in terrible shape. So what sort of speed was he traveling at to have caused this kind of mayhem?
And if his brakes were even checked, because he, according to the read, he was trying to step on his brakes, it wasn't working, and then he bumped into the commercial car right in front of him, killing 7 people. Yeah,
very unfortunate. I want to read a story on the Upper East Regional Minister. He is royally upset. Royally upset, yes. Royally upset. Now, contractors engaged in shoddy works on the Gulf of Guinea Northern Region's social cohesion project will be sanctioned. The Upper East Regional Minister, Stephen Yakubu, has warned. He said all contractors who were yet to mobilize construction materials to site after the projects had been awarded on contract over 2 or 3 months before would have their contracts abrogated and re-awarded to serious contractors. Now, the minister, who made this known during a monitoring tour to the project sites in Timpani and Garu districts of the Upper East region over the weekend, said the execution of the projects in the various districts were meant to add value to the local economy and improve on the standards of living of the people. He gave a stern warning that any contractor who engaged in snail pace and poor execution of projects would not be spared this year. When the story goes on to explain further what happened as he did the tour. But yes, a lot of the road projects, especially the road ones, right, are given by the roads and highways. Right? And so I wonder what Locus, if there's road projects, you know, and of course he has influence, so then he will be able to. Fantastic. Let
me go on to the Chronicle newspaper, and the big issue here is Educhum calls for patriotism as he launches History of Ashanti book to commemorate 150 years of Segrenti War. I don't know if you remember your social studies, you know about the Segrenti War. None of us, me, I wasn't born. MPs to recite national pledge once a week. We should try to recite the national pledge in this house. We should. Once a week. Because yesterday, I was hearing things. Maslock trial, 75K Ghana Cedi. Journalist cash can't be traced. IGP Dampare among 100 most reputable Africans. And let me read your favorite for you. Proverbs 24. Why are you laughing? 21. Fear the Lord and the King, my son, and do not join with rebellious officials. Educhum calls for patriotism as he launches history of Ashanti book to commemorate 150 years of Segrenti War.
All right. So, now the Daily Guide has these headlines. Excessive partisanship kills democracy. This is coming from the Speaker of Parliament. Kaswa murder. I have no idea how victim died. This is coming from the accused. 7 killed in a Masamang and Swam Road accident. This story we brought from the Ghanaian Times as well. MPs recite national pledge, undergo daily roll call, and forgive them. They don't know the power of love.
Please, I'd like you to go into that story.
Forgive them.
Because for me, I know we are in the month of love.
No, wait,
for the case to have been thrown out by the Cape Coast Court.
Listen to the headline again. Forgive them. They don't know the power of love. The court is telling Prof. Phoebe. Now, this story is very interesting.
Please go into it.
The legal hurdle which nearly ruined the marriage of young at heart Prof. Dominic Phoebe, a former Minister of Education and Sports under the President John Kufuor administration, to a 30-year-old lady has been thrown out by a high court in Cape Coast. The court, according to Dennis Law News, has asked the 81-year-old former minister to forgive his son,
not a
nephew, and an estranged former wife for instituting the action which sought to dissolve the marriage. We can only ask the first respondent, Prof. Phoebe, to forgive his son, and I quote, his nephew, for they don't know the power of love. DL News quotes the court as saying, the 81-year-old former member of parliament for Ascent South recently had a lavish wedding ceremony, which gained a lot of public attention after videos were shared on social media. In the videos, the good old professor was seen in a kente cloth, excited and dancing with his new wife, who wore a white and gold-beaded lace corset gown. Yeah, so the story goes on there, and finally they are free to enjoy their love.
Why hinder love?
Why
fight love?
I don't understand.
Why fight against love? This
son,
morning I've been preaching about love, and then an estranged wife. Please, when love is talking, love is the strongest thing you can ever feel or go through. So if you are not feeling it and somebody is feeling it, trust me, allow them to ravel it, please. And then just push them on. If they come back to you, advise them. Simple. Republic Press says it is serving the Republic, and with the major news up front here is Bawumia breaks silence. You know, today he's speaking at the UPSA. As Ghanaians anticipate economic solutions. EC's indelible link proposal hangs as minority leaders reject move. Both of you are rejecting the move. OPK mad at police over Kwewu Bepong tension. And then follow bailout guidelines. IMF cautions Ghanaians, and that is on page 9. Parliament introduces roll call to check absenteeism as all 270. When I read the story, I said, okay. So now this is going to work. We'll not have somebody, a minister sitting in the US, and then will be telling us that this is the reason he or she cannot be in parliament to serve his or his constituents.
The Herald has these stories. We have Bawumia boys worried at government's unpopular policies, but confident. Eslo Wusu's 150 million US dollar Airtel Tigo sale to British national under scrutiny. Citi FM, Citi TV hands over resettlement centers, and Major General Pomprepa touts projects but fails to provide cost and others. Now, Attorney General star witness exposed by hidden Craig letter at Cocoa Board trial. All right, so those are the headlines on the front page of the Herald newspaper.
The Daily Analyst, without fear or favor, Cheddar meets GJA executives, says he has a purpose for Ghana, as he was telling Bernard Avle some weeks past. Protecting journalists, stay away from Farouk Mahama, GJA, Geba, Primpag, and MFWA hit Yendi MP with media blackout. NDC has the men to fix Akufo-Addo's mess. That is Mahama speaking. MPs to recite national pledge to undergo roll call in new standing orders. Abra traditional area. You are desecrating the stool. That is Abra Omanhene under fire after thugs invaded stool room.
All right. There's a very interesting story here in it's inside the custodian. I'll read that one first before I do the headlines. It says, tourists dismayed as Zanzibar runs low on beer.
Sorry.
Why are you laughing? No, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm so sorry.
Drop emissions, so it's the custodian that I'm reading from. Drop emissions levy former deck to government. NDC wolves, in quote, attack Bentel over Baumia. And we have Asenso Boache, son of a Kokonte seller, Kwesi Yanka writes. And Parliament starts mandatory roll call. So that's what we have for the custodian.
The Business and Financial Times, what drives a personal brand? The intricacies of perception and reality. That's a feature. Another feature says digitalization, passport renewal, online application platform, ill-designed. Now, rethink emissions levy. Dr. Mateo cites loopholes in current structure. Lands Commission embarks on massive digitization and increases revenue by 12%. Now, Golden Star Resources plans $1.2 million for 9 CSR projects. Casapreco lets you go liven up corporate bond market.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the Informer has some interesting stories. The headlines are interesting as they are, but there's some in the inside that I want to read. And on page 7, Citi will depreciate marginally to the dollar in 2024. This is coming from an analyst. Now, this is actually quite interesting because notoriously in the election years, the depreciation is quite significant. But here the analyst is saying there'll be a marginal depreciation, and I want to read the story. Okay. Currency analyst with a data bank research, Kweku Akon-Kumsen, is predicting a marginal depreciation of the cedi in 2024 due to reduced market volatilities compared to 2023. According to him, since 2024 is an election year, foreign investor participation in the market will be minimal, thus having a less impact on the cedi's performance. Reacting to concerns about the deepening of the cedi's woes in the first month of 2024, despite the $600 million inflow from the IMF, Mr. Kumsen said the depreciation would not be that deep compared to last year. So that's some good news, I guess. Yeah.
Well, today, AFCON Daily, the semi-final, South Africa, I revenge against Nigeria.
Yeah. You know that I mentioned that earlier with the Ghanaian Times, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You give us the juice in the story. I want to hear what it is that they are saying.
South Africa head coach Hugo Broos believes his team are hungry to succeed as they go in search of their first ever Africa Cup of Nations victory over Nigeria today at the Trade de la Paix Bouaké. The two sides clash in the first semi-final of the 2023 AFCON in what will be a repeat of the 2000 semi-final that saw the Super Eagles overcome the 1996 champions 2-0 in Lagos. The rivalry between the two sides will be renewed in Côte d'Ivoire as Nigeria chases its fourth title, while South Africa looks ahead to what has been an elusive second.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to
And elephants to continue the roller coaster ride. They are looking forward to continue their roller coaster ride. Yeah, so that's what the back page of the Daily Graphic has pertaining to the AFCON.
All right, and speaking about AFCON, we have sports review next. All right, now on the sporting front, we have, of course, you know the AFCON is on, but before that, let's give you some African Games news. Now, the local organizing committee chairman of the 13th African Games, Dr. Kweku Ofosu-Asare, said Ghana is ready to host the multi-sport competition. Now, he said this in an interview with SuperSport ahead of the Games commencement on March 8th. Now, the competition that takes place every 4 years is due to conclude on the 23rd of March. Now, the University of Ghana and the newly built Boteman Sports Complex will host most of the events, with the Cape Coast Stadium and Accra Sports Stadium set to host competitions in football. Now, the 2023 African Games will serve as qualifiers for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games in at least 8 sporting disciplines. Now, in AFCON news, the semi-finals of the 2023 AFCON will come off today in Boaké and Abidjan. Now, Nigeria and South Africa will play in the first semi-final at 5 p.m. and it will be a repeat of their 2019 AFCON quarter-final clash that Nigeria won 2-1. Now, second game will see the host nation Cote d'Ivoire and DR Congo at 8 p.m. and the tie will be a meeting of the two countries who have won the AFCON twice in their history. The winners will meet on Sunday in the final, while the losers will face off on Saturday in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And that's where we end Sports Review this morning.